We got some Jim Rohn for you this Friday. Some Jim Rohn. Again, success leaves clues, ladies and gentlemen. Success leaves clues. Find anyone that's successful in what they've done. You think about how they think about things, and you'll get some of the same results. So Jim Rohn just gave you a lot of things in there. Some of the stuff is a reminder. Again, are we doing what we know? Some things you might have to say, man, am I thinking that way? Do I apply this in my life? Is that my thinking? Remember, if you change your thinking, you change your life. Some of you want some of your life to change, but we haven't attacked the thinking that has caused that. So these are things that we start picking up, that we start realizing, man, do I think this way? Are these my traits, my characteristics? Is this how I operate on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis? If not, I need to change some things for my life to change. He talked about these seven silent killers of success. These are the things that take you away from the life that you want. We're on these calls to get to the life that we want, to design our ideal life, to create the life you don't need a break from, to have all the money, all the time, all the freedom, all the things you want. It's going to come in you changing how you think about it. So these are some things that he said, watch out for. Check to see if they're in your life, because if they are, they're taking you away from the direction you want to go. But we got to be aware of it. Awareness is the first step to change. First thing he talked about was indifference. Indifference, the shrugging of the shoulders. It doesn't matter this way, that way. What happens? We become drifters, like Napoleon Hill talks about. Drifting, whichever way the wind blows, whichever job is there, whichever opportunity is around, whatever we feel like doing, we do, and then we wake up and we're not where we wanted to go because we were indifferent about the path. We were indifferent about the people around us. We had indifference in us. So it caused us to drift. So you got to get away from that. You got to get away from that side. We can't have the indifference if you want to go get to the life that you deserve. Learn to put everything you got into everything you do. Learn to put 100% of you into whatever it is you go off and do. That saying you've heard me say, how you do one thing is how you do everything, is the case. How you do one thing is how you do everything. How you're choosing to live your life in one area is probably rubbing off how you live your life in a different area. So learn to put everything of you into what you do and watch how you get better results, right? Watch how you get better results. The second thing that he talked about was indecision. Indecision. We looked at it in our text 177 Mental Toughness Secrets. We talk about it all the time. Champions are decisive. They make a decision. Hey, I don't know which way to go. I'm not going to sit on this for weeks, for months, for years and not make a decision. I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to find out sooner rather than later whether this is the right path or not the right path. But I'm not going to sit here in the middle and think about it the entire time, so I'm indecisive. The adventure is in the decisions. That's what I wrote down. The adventure is in the decisions. Make a decision and go. Put all of you into that decision. Don't sit on the fence too long. Third silent killer, he said, is doubt. Self-doubt, number one. Doubting yourself, but just doubting that things are possible. Doubting that it can happen. Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean that it's not possible. Just because you haven't experienced it in your life or your family hasn't experienced it doesn't mean it's not possible. So the doubt that you have is holding you back from the life that you want. That's self-doubt. If you are capable, if this is what you should be doing, if this is how you are, if you are good at this thing, right? The doubts is what constantly gets in, and we got to change that. The opposite of that is becoming a believer. Becoming a believer. Believe that it's possible. Believe that you can do it. Believe that you are capable. Believe that you are worthy. Like you have to believe in these things versus you having this doubt that's holding you back. That's a limiting belief that we got to get out of our stinking thinking. The fourth thing he talked about was worry. How many of us are chronic worriers, not warriors, chronic worriers, right? We worry. That becomes like our MO. If things get kind of rough and shaky in life, you start worrying. Oh, well, what if this happens? Well, what if that? Well, then I got to do this. And what does that cause? It causes us to not do anything. It causes us to be indecisive. It causes us to stay where we are. We're too scared to step out into the future because we worry so much about what could happen or what might happen. We have to get away from that. We have to give it up if we want to go off and design our ideal life. If we want to go off and design our ideal life, right? So thank you, Diamond, for that, right? Breakthrough is definitely on the other side of fear. Fear, false evidence appearing real, right? You push yourself past that comfort zone. You push yourself past what you think is possible, and you're going to get to all the good things. The fifth thing he talked about was over caution, the timid approach to life. The timid approach to life. That's right, Robert. Analysis by paralysis, right? Staying in our mind. That over caution, that timid approach to life. The people that want the safety and security. It's okay to be cautious, to like understand that there's things that could come up, but being over cautious, like being overly reckless, like you said, but like being overly cautious, just not making sure, right? What do we read in the text? Arriving safely at death, safely into your nursing home, safely into your deathbed. Like you didn't shake it up too much. You were just overly cautious about all that life has. No, no, no. You got to get to the adventure. Don't wish you were easier, wish you were better in this process. How do we do that? By continuing to do that. Number six, he said the pessimism. I know none of you are pessimistic. You're all optimistic. You're all living in abundance. You're all thinking about the good things that can happen. You see the glass as half full, not as half empty. But by the way, if you're around people that are pessimists, that see the glass as half empty, trust me, it doesn't balance you out. It just feeds into your mind. Like he talks about some of that mental garbage that's hard to shake. The messenger might leave, but the message stays. If you have people around you that are very pessimistic, that talk about life in not an abundance and love and opportunistic type way, you probably want to slowly rid yourself of them because how they are thinking is going to infiltrate how you think, what you think is possible, what's not possible. You're the average of the five people you spend the most time with. So if you're spending time with people that are pessimistic, you'll be the sixth person that's pessimistic. I hope you understand that. I hope you understand that. The way we think becomes who we are. What did he say? Poor thinking habits keep most people poor. Poor thinking habits, not poor working habits. You work hard, you have a skill, you do something, you give, right? Like the work part we get, but the poor thinking habits, the habits of thinking, the what do we consume, right? We're not strict. We have poor habits with what we consume, what we allow into our mind, into our eyes, into our thoughts. Then that creates a habit, creates a thinking pattern that, again, if we keep it poor, we will stay poor mentally. The seventh thing he put was complaining. Complaining, obviously, we have no room for that. If you're going off to design your ideal life, you have no room to complain about the way life is. In every adversity, there's a seed of opportunity that's greater than that adversity if you see it as such. We talk about this week after week after week, whatever adversities you're going through. I don't know what they are, but I know we all go through the same type of adversities in life. You can't wish them away. They came to make you better. They came to make you better, right? Jay-Z just did they just put out a thing with like GQ. He did like an interview with GQ, and in that I was going to use this clip earlier today, but it's only like a couple minutes. He says the things that we always talk about. He said life is not happening to you, life is happening for you. He said that in the interview. Success leaves clues. It's not random that a guy like Jay-Z says it, and we've heard it a bunch of times from all the people, Les Brown and Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins, and all the people all say the same stuff because how you think about things matters, right? Success leaves clues. So for him to say something like, life doesn't happen to you, it's happening for you, all things are happening for your greater good, That's a belief that he has that we've tried to talk about, that we instill in us. Just remember, we become what we think about. You got to stand guard at the door of your mind, ladies and gentlemen. That's what this is about, standing guard at the door of your mind. I chose to use this one in 177 Mental Toughness Secrets. There's a bunch of chapters I could have correlated with it, but this one that says champions know security is a perception. That whole safety and security side. Number 5, the overcaution. I want us to understand that safety and security is an illusion. It's not through your job. It's not through your right where you live right now. Like that, none of those things give you safety and security. It's an illusion. It's just a perception. It's what you think. Here's what it says in the text. It says the endless quest for security is the plague of the middle class level of consciousness. Security is an illusion used to ease the late nights of worry and concern about the future. The world class knows there are only two facts in which you can be secure. All of us were born and all of us will die. Everything that happens in between these two dates is up for grabs. These realities invoke terror in the hearts of amateurs, but are liberating to champions because they are indisputable. It may not be comforting, but it's reality. One of the hallmarks of the great ones is their ability to deal in straightforward and simple truths. Give it to them just as it is, without any spin. This fulfills their need to work from a point of objective reality so that they can devise a solid plan of action based on facts. Average performers cringe at the thought of not having security, but instead of evolving to a higher level of conscious awareness, most choose to delude themselves into a false sense of security. It's no wonder amateurs are no match for pros. It's not even a level playing field. Champions are motivated by the idea that their security is in their ability to perform. The great ones live for a challenge, and often they love the battle for the prize more than the prize itself. They love the battle because they expect to win, and their positive expectations continues to grow with each subsequent victory. The world class knows that if any form of security exists in the universe, it's within their thoughts. Say that one more time. The world class knows that if any form of security exists in the universe, it is within their thoughts. They are willing to court doubt and darkness along the road to enlightenment. Extrinsic things like money will never make you feel secure unless you are secure on the inside. Unless you believe you have the ability to deal with whatever happens between your birthday and your death day. If the world-class thought process exists, almost anything from a teddy bear to $1 million will enhance your feeling of security. If you don't have it, $1 billion won't make you feel secure. Security is simply a perception, and the great ones have always known it. So again, if that's what you're after, that safety and security, ladies and gentlemen, just know it's an illusion. It's a perception. It's not real. It comes from your own thoughts. That's why the thesis here is if you change your thinking, you change your life. Whatever it is that you're dealing with in your life is a result of how you think about your life, how you think about that thing. Jim Rohn said it in there. Life is not about what's happening to us. It's about how we think about what's happening to us, how we think about the event, how we think about the thing that we're going through. It's not about what's actually happening. And the moment that we can understand that, the moment we can start to grasp that and know that what you're going through in life, whatever adversities, whatever challenges have come to make you better, if you start looking at it as such, then you start to shape your life the way that you want. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to design our ideal life. You get to choose. You get to shape your life. You get to pick. You don't just have to get handed or play the cards that you're dealt. We hear that saying a lot, but you don't have to. You can change your cards, right? Like you can shuffle them. You can go back you can change. You're not a tree. You're not a plant. Like you can change who you are, what you think, how you think, what you do. You can change your need for security or the need for the job or the need for the family or whatever it is that's in you that you think is holding you back from where you got to go. You can change it. You can change it. This quote here says, when you know you're capable of dealing with whatever comes, you have the only security that the world has to offer. When you know you're capable. And that's what this is about, ladies and gentlemen. It's about you knowing that you're capable, whatever life it is that you're going after, whatever your ideal vision is, whatever you have written down for yourself that you said, hey, this is where we're going, you're capable of getting there. It's possible. Sure, you're going to have to change. Sure, you're going to have to work. Just like Jim Rohn said, you're not going to drift your way up the mountain. You're not going to drift up, right? You're going to drift down, you're going to drift sideways, but you're intentional about climbing that mountain, about getting to where you want to go. You're going to be able to make it happen, y'all. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve it. Your families deserve it. If nobody tells you, I'll constantly tell you, you deserve to win. You deserve to win at life, whatever that looks like for you. Health, wealth, love, happiness, having life exactly where you want it. You deserve it, but you got to work for it. It takes real work. It takes real change. It takes you really pushing through the adversities. All these things that we just talked about, watch out for in your life. Make sure you're not complaining. Make sure you're not indifferent. Make sure you're not indecisive. Make sure you're not overly cautious. Like, make sure you're paying attention to these things because this is how we get to that life, ladies and gentlemen. And you guys can make it happen. Go out, do something that scares you this weekend. Do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone that your future self is going to thank you for. It gives you those butterflies inside. Do that this weekend so we can come back and we can knock this thing out again next week. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. Take care.